Hello and welcome to the Bangers and Smash podcast with me, Tony Hutchison.
And me, Harley Althorpe.
For all your things paddle. But first, let's head to Millie Giorgio to talk about the rules of paddle.
Paddle is a fast-paced racket sport that's kind of like tennis and squash. Had a really fun baby. It's played in doubles, so 2 versus 2 on a smaller enclosed court with glass walls. Scoring? It's the same as tennis. Love, 15, 30, 40, deuce, and so on. You serve underhanded and it must bounce in the opposite service box. The ball can hit the glass after it bounces, but not before. Now here's where it gets fun. After the ball bounces once, it's still in play even if it hits the wall, as long as it doesn't bounce a second time. So players often use the walls to return shots, just like squash. Strategy and quick reflexes are key. Things you can't do are hit the ball into the wall on your side before it goes over the net, or touch the net or cross into the opponent's side, or let the ball bounce twice, obviously. And yes, you can hit it outside the court if it goes over the glass. Just run around and hit it back in if you're quick enough. Style points if you do. To win, you play best of 3 sets, needing 6 games to win a set and a 2-game lead or a tie-break at 6-6. That's it. It's fast, it's fun, it's social and slightly addictive.
So now we know how to play paddle, should we talk about the rise in popularity?
I think we should, Harley. How do you feel like the rise in popularity of paddle has happened?
It's definitely become more popular in recent years.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I think social media has probably played a big part of that.
You see people like Stormzy decide they're making videos on paddle, playing games to do with paddle.
It's like yesterday I was on TikTok and you see a paddle game and it just makes me want to play it.
Scotty Pollock was there the other day. Do you remember from Hashtag United?
Yeah.
He was there.
Cobbler's legend.
The man of the people he is. see him on there all the time. But the growth of paddle been quite interesting. I feel like definitely through COVID times it's picked up quite a lot with...
Definitely.
You couldn't meet up with a group of people back in COVID.
It's definitely got a social nature to it. You can just go hire a court and play with your friends.
Yeah. Quite expensive though, I think.
Yeah, it can be expensive and we'll get onto that.
Yeah. But it's good fun paddle.
It's unique as well that you don't have to separate genders. Separate genders can play together.
Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why it's been so popular in recent times.
Definitely.
Coming over from Mexico, of course.
Definitely. The Spanish countries, like Mexico, Spain, Argentina, it definitely tends to be more popular.
But playing it with like mixed genders as well, there's not many sports you can actually do that with.
Yeah, it makes it unique in that way.
Yeah, could say so.
Why do you think it is that in the Spanish-speaking countries it's more popular than here?
Because they're quite good at tennis, aren't they?
They are.
The Spanish-speaking players, Alcaraz, of course, and Nadal, and all the others.
Do you think it makes a difference that they can play it outside in the sun, whereas here you can't?
Yeah. To be fair, that's why they do a lot better on like clay courts and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they get to play outside and stuff like that. UK obviously it's more of an indoor thing we have to play.
Yeah.
But the good thing about paddle, it can be indoors and outdoors.
Yeah.
Like the one at County Lawn Tennis Club, they've got a paddle court outside.
I didn't know that.
No, one of only 2 paddle courts in the whole of Northamptonshire.
So it's nice that it's not a seasonal sport. Say football,
No.
you have an off season in the summer.
Yeah.
At least you can play it all year round.
You can play it all year round whenever you're really free.
Yeah, definitely.
Think about it. Yeah, it's good fun.
So going on, you mentioned that there are financial constraints.
Yeah.
How do you think we can make it more accessible to the everyday person?
First of all, you can't really get into paddle. It's not in schools. It's not something you can just go outside and book, really, at a young age. You need quite a bit of money. Like the one in Northampton at County Lawn, it's £20 if you don't have a membership, just to book the court, and then on top of that, racket hire, ball hire.
It's not like,
stuff like
again,
that.
Football is an example. You just need a ball, then you can use jumpers as a goal.
Yeah, jumpers
Kids
as a goal
can't
post.
just go and play it in their free time.
Yeah, you've got to be in an area with paddle courts as well.
Yeah.
Having someone willing to drive you, because that one that I mentioned is just out the way. It's in the 6th. You've got to find a lift there,
someone to
a
get
bus
you
route there. Yeah, just off the A road.
So it's not really accessible to the younger generation.
No.
It's more for adults.
Yeah, but a way they could improve this is take it into schools maybe. I know it's expensive to like make the courts and stuff like that, but there might be a way of doing it.
I was going to say, how would you implement it in schools? Because schools aren't going to have a
Yeah,
paddle court.
you're gonna need funding, aren't you?
Definitely.
Or
And it would be expensive.
Yeah, maybe get some like stuff you can put up on a tennis court.
Yeah.
Make a little box, make a net.
You could like have a make-do paddle court.
Get paddle at home instead of paddle outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, another way it could be improved and like more people could get involved if like there were more grassroots
Oh, definitely.
paddle courts and paddle like clubs. As you see in football, there's loads around.
Yeah.
Like anytime you look at a field on like a Saturday morning, Sunday morning, with people playing football, it's nice and easy.
I always think if there's a competitive element as well, it'll make it more appealing to a lot of people. You always want to win.
Yeah.
And it will mean people want to play more.
Yeah, the more competitions, more prizes, you get more people involved in the sport.
Yeah, definitely.
And you probably could get people coming in from tennis to play.
Yeah.
As it's quite similar, easier on the knees, which takes us into our fitness and training for paddle. And like training for paddle, quite similar to tennis, with running around, learning to hit the ball.
People see it's a racket sport. How does paddle differ from tennis?
From tennis, probably, like I said, easier on the knees, smaller courts. I don't know, you have to be probably more concentrated because you can expect the ball to hit the wall, come back. You can, like, I'll say your hand-eye coordination needs to be more on point for paddle than it does for tennis. Because tennis, it's quite an easy sport.
I'm sure tennis fans won't want to hear you saying that.
Oh, do you know what? If they're here, they can leave. Oh, just kidding. We love everyone listening to this.
We do.
But yeah, more on the training for paddle. It's more just hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
Practicing, like your serves, for example. Serves aren't like tennis. That's something they differ in. It's underarm serves, not overhand.
Okay.
It's due to the court being so small, realistically. You can't just smash the ball like 100 miles an hour at the floor. It's going to bounce back to you, realistically.
Would you say in that case it does appeal more to the older generation? That, like you say, it's easier on the knees, it's a smaller court, so they're not having to run around as much?
Yeah, it's look, paddle don't discriminate. Paddle's all inclusive. Anyone can play. But for the older generation, it's probably much easier to get into paddle, play in paddle, than it is to play in tennis, for example.
Okay.
It's similar to squash. Small court, run to the other side, hit the ball back, done.
But would you say if people wanted to get fitter, that tennis would be a better option?
Not necessarily.
Why is that?
Because you can just play a longer game of paddle.
Okay.
If you want more mileage, like, it depends what you're working on. If like you're going to be turning a lot more, you've got to be more on your toes. For both sports, as much as the tennis hater, you can run. You got to be on your toes, and when you're just doing stuff like that, it's going to take it out of you. You got to run around.
But because it's a smaller court, you'd be turning more.
Yeah.
Would you say older people might be more inclined to tennis then? Because they're not going to be wanting to turn around in a tight space all the time, are they?
No.
They just want a nice, relaxing game to get out the house.
Yeah. I see the point, but you never know. It depends how seriously they're taking the game of paddle, of course. Like, if they're just going for a friendly little rally, a friendly little match, no one's wanting to get injured here. It'll be fine. But But plus for tennis, you've got to be quite quick. In fairness,
Definitely.
like running across courts.
Yeah.
If you're not quick enough, you're done.
Yeah.
But for paddle, you can make it realistically because you
can adapt it to the level of fitness. And
Plus
mobility.
the ball will be coming back to you after hitting the walls and stuff like that. So it's going to be quite fine. Yeah.
That's good.
And that's all we have for today for this Bangers and Smash podcast, episode 1 with me and Harley.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Hope to see you again soon.